So the 2025 energy report is going to be coming out soon. I have been channeling messages from the guides, and it's very interesting this year because rather than talking about current events or upcoming events, the guides are more so giving the overall energy of the year and what opportunities there will be for those of you who are looking for spiritual growth and who are looking for mental and emotional growth, because as they've said time and time again, and they will say it in the guide, this is what's going to help you the most. So they're trying to give you the things. And if you've ever seen me live channel or ever gotten a reading from me, you know that they have a lot of advice because they're not just here to predict things for us. They are guides. Like, they're here to help us. They're not going to help us by just telling us, well, here's what's coming or here's what might happen or whatever. That can be helpful at times, but most of all, what they want to teach through me in particular, I've noticed, is here's what you can be doing that will help you no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what happens in the future, no matter what the current events are or the upcoming events. And this is going to help you make better informed decisions in the future, because a lot of the things that they're going to be teaching you and talking about are going to be helping you with knowing also how to set up systems or daily routines, practices, things like that for yourself that will help you. They're also going to be talking about where the opportunities will be in terms of spiritual growth. So intuition, mediumship, how you can enhance those practices, or why it might be important for you to be more dedicated than ever to enhancing those practices in this time frame. I do see a lot of energy that is going to lend itself to that growth because we are entering the age of Aquarius. That is mentioned a lot so far in the guide, and there will be a lot more. It's turning out really interestingly because I will always have an idea in my head of like, oh, like I really want to do this, or like, oh, my guides are kind of like nudging toward that idea, or I'm feeling really pulled towards this idea to do an energy report. And then as I start channeling things from them, it turns out every time that it's different than what I originally thought it would be, but it ends up so much better than I originally thought I would be. And this is just another demonstration of how our mind can really only think up so much, but when we lean into the other side for their help and support, and we make ourselves the vessel for their higher and greater wisdom, we're going to come up with new things, or things that are more out of the box and often more helpful or more necessary than what we could even think of ourselves. So yes, it's going to be a really interesting energy report for the year. I'm planning to put it into PDF format for you guys because I think that's going to be probably the most helpful. I am going to also put some tidbits out there in my upcoming podcast episodes. If there is anything in particular that you're like, ooh, like I'm very curious about this or that, just again, I'm not going to be doing too much about current events, but they will be talking about upcoming themes. And they are talking about 2025, but it's kind of more like, hey, we're going to see seeds planted around some things. There's certain things where it's like, oh, we're really going to see this theme coming through this year, and other things where it's like, hey, like this is going to start this year and you're going to see the inklings of it, and it's really going to grow, and you're going to see even more momentum around this other theme or that other theme through 2027, 2030. So the time frame between 2025 and 2027 is extraordinarily important. If you've ever paid attention to Gene Keys as well, Richard Rudd has spoken about 2025 and 2027 many times throughout his books, which was very interesting for me when I first read those a couple years back, because I had also been picking up those years being monumentally important for many reasons, especially for me in terms of the spiritual awakening. And I mean, we're seeing the telepathy tapes and more things coming out. We will see a lot of spiritual growth coming and very available during these time frames because of certain events and certain shifts that are going to be coming. So I wanted to mention that so far. I'm looking forward to getting the energy report, or it's more of an energy guide. So here's things to know. Here are things you can be doing to support yourself during this time frame that'll help you no matter what's going on. And I do see a lot of opportunity coming through for people that are really wanting to step more and more into that alignment with what's actually highest and best for themselves and others. If you're struggling with staying true to yourself, this will be a great time frame for you to really step onto that path and stay dedicated to the voice of your soul. For that, I also have my course, which is available on Patreon and on my website. You guys get a special discount for the Patreon if you purchase it from the Patreon link, because you guys are already group members. So I wanted to give you guys a special discount. That course will be really helpful coming into this new year. It is one that helps you kind of break down plans and goals in a very practical and very grounded way. So for those of you guys who are a little bit more like, I like to plan, I like to have structure, that it will scratch that itch for sure. It also, however, is going to help you with identifying what truly should your goals be, because a lot of us set goals that just don't matter, and then we can't stay dedicated to them, or we set goals that are like not actually our goals. We start to realize this is a cultural construct, or this is something I saw people doing on TikTok, or this is maybe what an old me would have wanted, or what my parents might have wanted, or what I thought I was supposed to want. And so there's a lot of workbook and different prompts and things like that to help you really tune into soul goals by connecting to your soul guides and connecting to your highest and best future self. There are guided meditations to help you do that, so that when you're setting goals and intentions for the year out ahead, and even through the next month, 90 days, 6 months out ahead, you're really feeling into like, what actually is right for me to aim toward. There are extra practices that help you get in touch with, a little bit more in touch with, one, like your soul guides and your soul goals, get advice and wisdom from them and from your highest best future self, as I mentioned. And then also to redefine, what are my values and how does my intuition work, and how do I trust and use my intuition every day to help me in the moment when I'm moving toward these goals, while also having some structure and a little bit of a plan going. So this will be really helpful for you guys, I hope. So again, there is going to be a discount code that will be posted in the group, in the comments, or in the post area, description area under this. And as well, thank you guys so much for just joining this space. I'm really excited to make this a really intentional and sustainable growing group throughout the year. My goal is not to have 8 million people in here where I can't have any contact or comment on posts or anything. My goal is to have this growing really sustainably in a way that feels good, so that we're creating a community here in the group, especially because we don't know exactly what's going to happen with TikTok. My gut says it won't go away, but we've seen there's so much free will at play. It's like a lot of things are up in the air right now. So I wanted to make sure that we had this space here before we get to that point, so that we all have a place where we can come in, reconvene. So I hope to make this space really fruitful for you. Please remember that the more you share and ask questions and comment on each other's posts and support and encourage each other, the more you will get out of this group. If it's kind of just me posting, that's fine, but you're probably not going to get as much out of it as if you were to actually participate in it. So keep that in mind. And let's make this a very interesting and wonderful year ahead in terms of our spiritual growth. Also, we're about to announce what book we're doing for our book club this month, and also the very first energy work, energy healing group, which will be in the higher tiers. So if you want to get in on those, make sure that you upgrade your membership now to be able to get in on those and be signed up before the date.